Hello, Fred Gar here. Just coming to you in another video. As you can see, I have some generic rounds. Boop, boop. Also, I have two Morgan dollars. Now, the two Morgans are actually coal, considered cold because of they've had some cleaning. If you can see, they look really have that fresh look, but it's hard to see it. Um, but they've been cleaned really well. I think they look great. But since they've been cleaned, um, you know, they sell them as coal. So this is 1878. This is right here in 1880. So let's see if I can. I'm sorry, guys, about me not getting it right. Okay, because the camera shows it in reverse, so um, I apologize for that. So they both been cleaned. They look really nice. And then the other rounds that I have are just buffaloes. As you can see, they're just buffaloes. And I got 10 of them. So a lot of people are probably wondering, Fred, I thought you were going to scale back. And I do have a target in terms of silver, what I'd like to hit. So I'm still working towards that target. I got these two Morgans as gifts. Father's Day is coming up, so some people in my family may be getting these two Morgans. One Morgan for each person. So I got 10 of these. My birthday is coming up, so I wanted to get something special for myself. So like I said, there's 10 of these. And yeah, so that's really about my recent pickups. Um, I know I haven't discussed it as much, but I have watched a few channels. I recently watched Silver Heist, and he broke down that because the U.S. Mint, its production isn't as high, its production numbers of bullion, like silver eagles and gold eagles, are really low. Um, During the lockdown, they weren't producing anything. I think they had an emergency situation, emergency production from the West Point Mint. So those ones that have been graded, those silver eagles that have been graded are going to go up at a premium because they came from mint seals boxes, and what they sent the mint seal boxes to a grading company, and the grading company is going to say, hey, these silver eagles came from the West Point Mint, and people are going to probably pay a lot more for those. So that's something that's going on. Like I said, Silver Heist came up with that video. I recommend you guys check out his channel, Silver Heist. It was a great channel. He really broke down the populations of how many coins were being produced for each month and when they weren't being produced, in terms of silver eagles and American gold eagles. I thought it was a great video. Lynette Zhang on ITM Trading did an interview with Jim Rogers. I really liked that. It was a little choppy, but it was still good. And I just came off of watching Silver Talk. So, of course, that was great. I'm sure if you watch Urban Lifestyle, Eli's channel, you'll get some good clips from Silver Talk on some of the various topics. we're definitely going through some challenging times. So I definitely recommend that we come together as best we can with our friends and our family, and we just work together and try to reach our goals as a community. Watch out for each other as a community. I know there's a lot of tensions going on right now, but I think if we come together as a community, keep uh, keep our eyes open, um, try to be lawful. I think that's what this era calls for. Um, I don't think we need to be violent or anything like that. But I think if we can just try to come together and do things peacefully, um, things are going to be okay. So, so the mints are one thing, one factor that can attribute to premiums. These generic rounds, like I said, I paid about $4 over spot for, which is the highest I've ever paid. So it was around 21.95 for each generic round. So not really eager to pay that. Not really excited about paying that. But I do notice here in Tucson, there is a supply. The supply is starting to loosen up a little bit because for a while we were rationed out to how many generic rounds we could get. Um, we initially were only allowed to buy 10 generic rounds. Now we're able to buy 20 generic rounds at my LCS. So I think the supply is loosening up. It may take a few months to a year before we get to lower premium prices, lower premiums when we buy our silver. Um, right now, I am looking at some unique collector pieces. I normally don't do that because I don't think they're good for stacking, but I'm trying to buy silver that will either maintain its value or go up in value. I think if you guys seen some of my other videos, the Libertads are still great buys. I think you can still, if you're creative, find Libertads on eBay for around $25. Um, don't know if you can even get those from the coin shop right now, but if you're creative, you can still get Libertads for $25 each. I've seen some Libertads, like the new pre-sale for 2020 Libertad, as high as $40 almost. So that's a heck of a lot over spot. And those 2020 Libertads have not even come out yet. So your pre-orders are really high right now. Um, but I think they're good buys if you buy right. It does take a little bit of skill on eBay. There is some risk on eBay, because some buyers aren't as reputable, and you may have to pay more from the reputable sellers or the sellers with a good sale history. Usually those are the safer ones. And I'm talking about sellers that sell that have on their record thousands of transactions, 3,000, 4,000, 10,000, whatever. Those are more your safer bets, but you still could come across something that is not silver. When I'm looking at Libertas, I try to make sure there's silver. The word silver is in the description. 3/9's fine is in the description. Uh, those type of things, silver, 3/9's fine. Because if it's a fake and you say, hey, it's a fake, and their description says silver, and they argue, oh, it was silver plated, then, I don't know if there's going to be an issue with getting your money back. I also try to pay with PayPal. So with PayPal, I want to try to use that. So if I need to get my money back, it should be easier if I use PayPal versus just the credit card. So those are some tips. I hope they help. It can be a little bit risky on eBay. Sometimes I buy slabs, but I've heard stories about the slabs being duplicated, um, and fake slabs and fake coins. So you definitely got to be careful. Um, I didn't think that was possible early on, and I'm realizing, yeah, it is possible. Yeah, that is happening. I just thought the profit margins weren't that high, but apparently people are still finding ways to do it. Um, so those are my tips for the day. I know this is going to be a shorter video. I know I had some gaps there, but please bear with me. It's a Sunday. An update about me: I'm starting my second job here. It's going to be temporary, but I'll be looking for something long term coming up. So I will still try to make videos for you guys. I still want to try to come out with a lot of videos, and if that is the case, I will try not to overwhelm. You hear that? That's silver there. I will try not to get overwhelmed with this second job, and come back to you guys. So this is Fred Gar here. I hope everybody's having a good weekend, or when you see this video, having a good week. And I hope this was helpful. Okay, keep stacking, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.